Hello and welcome. I'm RiverSoft Art, and I'm here today to talk about an upcoming product from myself called Smart Collections. Smart Collections are what I'm calling special user-created products in your smart content library that are collections of already existing smart content, whether individual assets or entire products. Have you ever wanted to create a collection of assets, for a particular theme, 70s clothes, steampunk robots, Korean anime, whatever it is, or have a collection of the best poses for a certain scene or a theme or whatever, or your favorite environments, then Smart Collections is what you need. So what Smart Collections is, and let me show you in Daz Studio, here's a few smart collections that I've created. So for example, we have here a celebrity lookalike figures. And in here, I've basically taken other products and assets and put them together. So this smart collection has Alina, Asher, and Chanel, I don't know. And obviously, who they are and the lookalikes. And it includes whatever you want to put in there. I'm including the hair and the brows from the different products. It also includes what I call product link scripts. So this is the one file that's actually created. One thing I should say is Smart Collections doesn't actually create files. It only duplicates Daz Studio database records, assets that refer to these files. So when you double click on this will load the alina.duff file. That is unchanged. That's nothing else. It's just made a copy of the record that refers to that file. So going back to product link scripts, the one files Smart Collections does create are these link scripts to the products that are in this smart collection. So if I double click Alina for Genesis 8 female, it will actually load into the smart content product pane that product. So it allows you to get to that product and see everything it's in there, whether it's material, shaping, or whatever. One of the limitations of these smart collections is that these are copies of the assets. So if I type in Asher here, and hopefully it will, whoops, it's a male, of course. What you actually have now are two assets referring to the same file. The original one, and I think this is the original one, yes, that refers to it, and then a copy of that asset. So you do have, unfortunately, you have multiple items, assets in your smart content pane for these duplicated things. But I find this an incredibly great way for organizing my smart content. For myself, what I really wanted to do is for like my Now Crowd products. I usually have to go and I would go and say, okay, I want to do steampunk. Let me look through the entire list of wardrobe in my library for steampunk content to then use when I, render and generate the billboards. And I would do that in a Word document because that's the only way I could. So I'd go through, I would go online actually to Daz 3D, and then I'd go through and write in my Word doc all the things I thought applied. Because you can't, depend on categories or on the name to be correct. So like I've started creating one here. And if you look at the different, actually, let's just look at the different products. These are all the different products that are in there. And some of them do have steampunk in the name. But others, the Stonefast, I would not have found that. So this is a great way of putting these all together. And what's cool is you can actually share these too, because the Smart Collection script that I created actually allows you to export your list of products. So I see constantly on the forums that, someone asks, oh, what are the celebrity lookalikes? And a person will list, all of these, figures and links to them. And this will do it for your Smart Collection. It will actually, one of the options is to write out that list so that you can share online. Okay, so let's see the Smart Collections in action. When you first install it, let's go back. It will be under the scripts, RiverSoft Art, Smart Collections. And and you have 3 icons in here. One to bring up the manual, another to install in your favorites directory, and optionally on the toolbar. And then one to run the Smart Collection script itself. So what I always run that install first. I recommend having it available because it's the easy way to add assets and products to your Smart Collection. So I've already installed it. So let's say I want to make a new Smart Collection, and we can make it, I want to basically do autumn clothes. So I'm going to do or modern autumn clothes. I'm going to maybe do a Now Crowd product that will have, people in the city in the autumn. A lot of them will show up. So I did, autumn, and I have a lot here. So actually I can just select this one. I don't want a Genesis 2 probably. This one. Yeah, this one. This one. Yeah. Maybe that one. And then I just run the Smart Collection script. And if you have things selected either in the Smart Collections pane or in your Content Library pane, it will come up with this icon, whether you want to add these presets to your existing Smart Collection that's in the script or create a new one. So we're going to create a new one. And it actually will go through and add all of the products and their assets. So when you come up, you will have, this is what will come up when you first start. An empty Smart Collection. You have your vendor name, which is taken from your author name, a suggested name, which should be unique, and you should rename it immediately. And then a list here of all of your products and assets that are going to be in your Smart Collection. Oh, and you can change the icon. So I'm just going to rerun that just so we have these all added. And the first thing I'm going to do is rename this. I want this to be Now Crowd Autumn in the City. All right. So in here, you have your list of different products, and it's a good start. It has a lot of things in here. We're going to delete a lot of those, but it's a good start. So let's save this. So another word for autumn is fall. Let's look for fall items. This one. Sure. So I don't want the Genesis 2, I don't think. Click this again, and we're going to add this time. So that added on, accents, fall, etc. But then we get into ones that aren't named anything I could figure out. So we'll go briefly through, see if we can find some. Yeah, like this, vintage. Some of these with the jackets, that actually works as a fall item. Even this one would work. This one would work. I'm not going to do a lot. I'm just trying to show you. This guy's wearing a jacket. Oops. Actually, that's maybe a great idea. So let's add these really quick. Save that. And let's go under here and look for, is there outerwear? So let's look for products with outerwear that might have jackets. Already have that one. You don't have to worry. It will actually, if I selected this and added it, it would say, oh, it's already in there. I'm not going to add anything. This adventure outfit, yeah, that works. Let's see. Oops. A-line style, definitely. That's one for it. That's a good one. This is good. He's got something on his head to keep himself warm. Maybe the April rain, etc. This one definitely. And I'm going to just stop here. Let's add those. Now, since, as I mentioned, they do like duplicates, I don't, as you use smart content, obviously you select something, you load in some clothes and then you select the clothes and it'll show you the materials. So I don't like to include the materials in this. There's no reason to have duplicates on that. So there's an option down here, delete all content type that contains the name material. And you can either do an inclusive, so delete the ones that have material in the name or in the content type. So if you look at the content type, nothing would be deleted here, but perhaps, yeah, this has material. So these would be deleted. If you uncheck it, it's the opposite. It would delete everything that doesn't have material in the name, but we do want it this way. So we delete all the materials. I'm not going to want any poses in here. I don't need any documentation ones. Let's expand all to see what's available. Yeah, we like those. The props, yeah, maybe. We'll leave it in for now. Yeah, just go. I'm briefly looking at this. I go through this. Some wearables. Great. All right. So, one of the things I should mention is that it's highly, highly recommended that you save this so that you can reload it later and add on to it. Smart Collections makes it really easy to just add on, and if you install it again, it installs everything again, and it's easy to add on stuff. But you really need to save it. So we have this save option, and we will just do this as Autumn in the City, and then you can load it later. So at this point we have it. We can click install, and it goes through and creates that smart collection. We'll give it a moment. And in a smart collection, all the assets, as I mentioned, are copies. That includes the metadata. So the categories, everything else are exactly the same. All right. At this point, we're done. Let's find our new smart collection. And that was Autumn in the City. So here's our new smart collection. It's got a bunch of different outfits in it. Here's the pants, the gloves. It keeps everything you had. I didn't need the simulation settings, so I'm going to delete those. And then the list of all the products in here. And then it, will, as I said, you double click it and it will go to it. So I find this awesome. All right. So let's, as I said, I want to delete those. I don't. This time I obviously don't want to add it. Let's ignore it. And let's delete everything that has simulation in there. And then save it just for later. Install. And what happens, it'll go through and, it'll see, oh, we have these already, that I'm failing to add those because they're already there. If there were new ones, it would add it. And then it says, oh, well, I see 4 assets in there that aren't in your list of assets. And let's just remove those and save. And now if we find our smart collection, no longer the simulation things. And now this works like any other product. It actually creates the, in the runtime support area, it creates the icon and the, I think it's a .dsx file that could be transferred to other computers or whatever, or you could use the XML file to generate it as well. So it's portable, goes to other computers. It's really easy to use, and it's awesome for organizing your content around different themes. And I have a bunch here, as I said. There's some wardrobe I'm putting together. Oh, one of the things I should mention, it's good about if I bring this up and let's load the superhero one. The tree lists the product and the assets, the content type of the assets, and then you can have notes. So in here, I have Catwoman actually for that one and this one. I thought they were two different Catwomans, and I just click here on this. And why can't I edit right now? I think I'm missing. All right, I don't know why I can't edit that right now, but I added these notes. You can add them anywhere. So if let's do a new one, and let's do a different way of adding a product. So you can add a product by going to here, clicking this, and saying, okay, I want the teenager's room, and I just want the set, and it immediately created it with just the set. And this new smart collection would be, I don't know, teenager angst. I don't know. The idea. And then you can do things like, here, now I have it for whatever. Add in notes. So, this is, whatever I wanted to say. This is a 1920s teenage rebellion room, whatever. Let me go back to the superhero. So I have those Catwomans in there, and then when I installed them, let's show the ward outfits. It actually put in those notes in the description for the asset. And for, I think for the products, it will put it in the notes of the product as well. So you can add in your own little notes that you need for these things. So that's another option in there. What are other options? So that's obviously how to create one. Type in a unique name, type in a description if you want it of the product, add products, or do it using the other thing, change the icon. The import option is a way to, if you didn't click save and then you had gone and made other things, or you didn't save it, the import will list all of the smart collections it finds in the database, and it will allow you to try and import them. And it will go through and look at that product in the database and pull in things. But you will lose some stuff. You will lose, I think, some of the notes, and you lose empty products, things like that. But it does a pretty good job at pulling these things in. I mentioned empty products, and that's actually in the assets, in the options as well. So you can make a smart collection that basically has no assets in it. So just really quick, I'm going to select these two, and then I'm just going to delete everything that doesn't match this. So they don't have any assets under it. So if I created this smart collection, there would be nothing here but just the links. So if you, perhaps you don't like having that double assets. You could make a smart collection that just refers to other products. So it's a way of, remembering the products that, are relevant to your theme. Excuse me. Okay. Other options. So yeah, let's load another one just to have something to show. There's the view, so you could change the icons so there are different or no icons at all. Whatever. It's obviously slower to load icons, but I find it easier to understand what I'm looking at. With the names of the products, I don't know if you noticed, I had typed in Autumn in the City, but what we got was this, exclamation SC, now crowd Autumn in the City. So ignore that. The real name that's put in the Daz database is a combination of the product name you type plus a optional prefix and suffix. So I like to put this, exclamation SC in the front of every name because that makes it, one, they're easy to find, and two, the exclamation point pushes them up, farther in the list, or higher in the list of products. So that affects the name. What else did I want to say? Oh, no, I forgot now. Oh, yes. So when it creates the product, by the way, it takes all of the artists for all the products and makes this smart collection have that artist plus your vendor name that was specified here, and then a special artist called Smart Collection. And that's so that we can, it's how it actually identifies a Smart Collection product within the Daz Studio database. So that's something nice, and it puts in the description as I had mentioned before. Okay, ignore this. Other options. The delete empty products. So as you go through, and you noticed when I was doing before, if I do something like this and I delete selected, it keeps that product in there so that we could have a product link strip. If this was checked and I deleted all of the assets under a product, it actually deletes those products. So I like it unchecked because I like that product links, even for empty ones, whatever. And we can reset, but I like that. Show headers just to hide and show the header for people who have smaller screens and need the screen real estate. This can get pretty small, and this will make it even smaller. But I have a lot of, I have a 4K screen, so, and I like to see as much as possible. Other options. Oh, I mentioned, and let's load that again just because we can just not save it. Nor, so I can write this product list out to this log, and what you'll get is the name of the product plus a URL to find it at Daz, plus their documentation, their README. So you can write it to the log, or you could save it to a file, and we'll just call it products. And then if we go to that products, which I think is here, this is what you get. And you could copy and paste it into your forum post saying, hey, these are all these great outfits. Let me share that with you all that I have or that I think are great for, autumn type stuff. Going back to options, the last thing is clean product scripts directory. So to create those product link scripts, it actually, in a specific directory, and actually I'll help you show you how to find it, it creates these scripts plus their icons. So where it creates them is if you click F2 and you click Content, you get to the Content Directory Manager. Under the Daz Studio formats, the very first directory listed, there under that folder, there is also going to be a Smart Collections products, scripts, assets, or something like that. Let me, that's not it. Let's go Studio, Smart Collections, product, assets, scripts. So in here, it creates all of the scripts that will open up the relevant product. It also takes the icon that was provided for the product, and it crops out a square icon that can be used, in here to show it. So you notice it's a little cropped compared to the others. So it creates them in that directory, and you can uninstall these Smart Collections, and some of these will become orphans. So no, a Smart Collection it's mostly all database, so there's nothing to, once you uninstall it, there's nothing to delete except for these. And that cleanup will go through and say, okay, let me try and find anything that refers to these different scripts, and if nothing refers to it, this is an orphan, and let me delete it for you. So it'll clean up that directory for you. And I think that is it at this point. Yes. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you will like this product. I love it. It's going to help me with doing my Now Crowd products, so I'm excited about it. Have a great day.